Guys, Perry here from Missing Link Social Media. Today I'm going to take you through our 5-stage process we call the social media profit system, which is what we use as a bit of a blueprint and a strategy to get our clients results. So stick around. Cool, so the 5 stages are discover, define, design, deliver, develop, and I'm going to go through them with you now. Discover. Whenever we start working with someone, it's generally broken down into 2 components, the discovery phase of our first deep dive strategy meeting. So first of all, and this is heavily inspired by Simon Sinek and his system of the golden circle, which starts with why. So why do you do what you do? What's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? You know, what gets you out of bed every morning? And this can seem like something that's just a bit fluffy and has no real purpose, but it does when you think about, well, if we can attract people to our organization, customers who believe what we believe, then we're going to be less of a commodity. They're not just going to be with us for what we have, because if someone else is cheaper, they'll just shift across to them. So if you can find people that are aligned with your purpose and your cause and your belief, and you communicate that, then you're going to get more loyal customers. How do you do what you do? Pretty simple. What makes you different? And the best way to present this is not just by, hey, trust me, we're good at customer service, but do you have a customer service award that you can show as an example? So how do you do what you do? What makes you different? You know, your experience, there's a broad range of things, your USPs, right? Unique selling proposition, unique selling points. Thirdly is, what do you do? And don't just think about what you do in terms of, hey, we do Facebook advertising, but also think about what are the features, what are the benefits, and just as important, what are the outcomes of those benefits, okay? And remember to use some emotive language in there that shows that you have a thorough understanding of the people that you're trying to reach. It was once said to me that if you can explain your customers' problems and challenges better than they can to them, they subconsciously and automatically credit you with the solution. So this is all about having a really deep empathy for the people you're trying to reach, where you can articulate it better than they can, right? And then you've got them. So the next stage is research. There's 5 different components that we'll at least touch on here. One is competitors. So looking at what are competitors posting, what are they sharing, what ads do they have live. You can see that in Facebook. If you jump onto their Facebook page, there's a tab down the very bottom left on desktop called Info and Ads. Click that and you'll see all the ads that they're running, right? The next is conversations. Check out what conversations are happening in the industry. Check out reviews, case studies, things of that nature. You should always be on top of this stuff for yourself. But again, it can be handy going to competitors and seeing what people are saying, posting on their page, the reviews they're leaving, things of that nature. Check out what conversations are happening. Blogs, forums, also a good place to do so. Audiences and insights. So I've done a previous video on Audience Insights, which is a tool that Facebook has. I won't go into that now, we'll leave a link. Go into your page insights though, definitely. You can see when your audience is most active, people that follow your page when they're most active. So you'll see a bit of a line chart on each day of the week, but as well each hour of the day, and it'll show how many fans are online each hour of the day. So that can help with when you want to schedule content. There's another bunch of great insights you can see in terms of which videos have the highest watch rate, how many people, the percentage of people that are dropping off at a certain point in your videos as well, so they can help you create better, shorter videos if need be. Audience insights, page insights, really helpful. The next is average lifetime customer value. So it pretty much explains itself. You can Google, there's a few different formulas that you can work it out. But once we understand what an average customer is worth through the lifetime of being with you, then we can work out how much are you willing to pay for a customer, and then we can work out what's your conversion rate, so what's our cost per lead going to be. So we know that when we're doing these campaigns, they're profitable. The final thing is, jumping straight into actually combined 2 there. So the 4th is average lifetime customer value, and the 5th is the target customer acquisition. The next stage I'm going to take you through is define. So this is where we look at defining our campaign funnel. I just created a really good video on this. It was my last video. I'll include a link to that too. Then as well, the next step is looking at the audience funnel. And this was my first 4 videos, which were a little shady. I just was in front of my webcam. It's how all videos start, I think. Anyway, I'll include a link to those as well. It's basically looking at the campaign funnel, is looking at which campaigns are we going to use for awareness, which campaigns are we going to use for engagement, sending traffic, generating engagement on our content, and then which campaigns are we going to look at to convert people who are visiting our website, who have downloaded our lead magnet, things of that nature. The audience funnel is where we're looking at what audiences are we going to use when we're reaching people for the first time in our cold audiences, and which audiences are we going to use to target people who we know have engaged with us. For example, custom audiences of page engagement or video views or people that like your page. And then at the bottom is the hot audience. So these are people I define as those who have visited your website, made a purchase in the past, or we have their contact details. So that's the audience funnel, looking at a cold, warm, and hot audience. The next 2 points we look at are marketing messages. So for me, what creates really compelling marketing messages is empathy, having a deep empathy for the people you're trying to reach. What are the outcomes of your product? Not just looking at the features and benefits, but tailoring the messaging to the specific outcomes of those features to your audience. And to me, that equals conversions, right? So empathy plus outcomes equals conversions. The final thing is measures of success. So I created an acronym called CLEAR. So we're going to be looking at conversions, link clicks to your websites, engagement, audience growth, and reach. So through those, those are the key metrics that we report on, not that we optimize for. It's a whole different game. That's a 10-minute video. I'm not going to go there. But those 5 metrics are really easy to show how things are performing in 5 easy metrics across the awareness, consideration, and purchase phase of the customer journey. The design stage, the 3rd stage of the profit system, is really diving deep into what are we going to be putting in front of people and how are they going to be nurtured. So this is where we need to look at the brand, what assets we have, don't have, or need. For example, we love to work off a style guide. If we don't have that, you can generally tell by the advertising that's being done. There's no consistency on the website, to the Facebook ads, to the posts, or whatever you're doing. So it's very important to have something that's going to guide the creative. And that's not just the content that we're creating, but as well what we're going to be producing to people that they're going to be downloading and printing or holding with them, which could be checklists, guides, or other forms of lead magnets. So the design phase, to recap, what are things going to look like aesthetically? How is that going to reflect our brand? And what mediums are we going to use? Is it going to be images? Is it going to be videos? Is it going to be going live with content, doing stories, whatever it might be? And also we need to think about how are we going to nurture people who aren't yet ready to make a buying decision. So I've referenced in the past 2 different buyer groups. You've got the future buyers and the now buyers. 97% of people we reach are going to be future buyers, so they're not going to be ready for your product or service. So that's why I encourage a lot of the people that we work with to have a nurturing system, so that when we give a lead magnet to people and we get their contact details, we have an email series that's going to be building trust. I've got 3 videos with Jorge from 3 Steps Business. I'll include those links as well. There's going to be a lot of links in this, but it's going to be worth it. So the next stage I'm going to take you through to is deliver. This is really about proof. So whenever we sit down with someone, we take them through proof that we actually practice what we preach. We take them through some examples of work that we've done in the past, results that we've gotten in the past, to show that we can deliver. It's not just us being good at marketing. And that goes with testimonials and things like that as well. So the last stage is develop. So this is where we need to develop a system to measure, recommend, report, and evolve our strategy. And that generally comes down into 2 components. Qualitative data, stuff that we can't quantify. So what are people feeling how are they expressing that, what emotion are they using. You know, if we put out an ad, what's the sentiment that we can see on that ad? Is it positive? Is it negative? So it could be messages, things of that nature. They're still important to the performance, but we can't really quantify them as a metric. And then obviously you've got the quantitative data. So that's where we can look at the social engagement metrics, the website analytics, the nurturing analytics, the return on ad spend, things of that nature. And the last thing that we need to do is evolve the strategy. So we have an online strategy that evolves over time, doesn't get printed, collecting dust in the top drawer. Every month it's revisited, and that's where we report. So everyone comes back there monthly, and we're evolving the strategy based on what's working, what's not, and most importantly, making recommendations to continue pushing the results forward. And that, my friends, completes the 5 stages of our profit system, going through from discover, define, design, deliver, and develop. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Hit me up through the messenger or comment in the comments. I'll see you next video.